Today we're building the most expensive tank I can using 3 of the most exotic fish I own. I'm gonna show you how to take a 5-foot tank like this and turn it into a jungle paradise. It has been a very long time since I picked up this camera and a very long time since I've aquascaped a fish tank. I have moved into a brand new house, which means a brand new fish room. I have big plans for this fish room and it is starting right here next to my turtle tank, which right now we do not talk about. It's getting redone soon, don't worry. Actually, you know what? While I'm here, let me feed him. Oh, he knows it. He knows it. Come on, grab it. You can do it. You can do it, Harold, I believe. Go on, grab it. Got it. Harold is doing absolutely amazing, by the way. Sorry, this is not what we're here to talk about. This is the tank we're talking about today. Obviously, the first part of any fish tank build is the substrate. I have got myself some aqua soil here, which I will put on top of this gravel right here. This is going to build a lot of beneficial bacteria, and it's going to help us in the long run. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to put on the top. I think I'll probably put some sand, and then maybe even try some of this new gravel that I've bought. It's nice and smooth, and I really like the color once it's wet. But you really can't go wrong with white sand. I am going to be saying this until I die. White sand is the best. Alright, we finished our incline. Now, this doesn't look like much of an incline, especially when you get down low. But you've got to think, when I add aqua soil and sand on top of that, it's actually going to be about there. I find when you do a hillscape with a little bit of height at the back, you're always able to see the detail in the plants all that much better. This is an annoying part, but it's definitely worth it. Alright, and just like that, we have our 2 hills. I've gone for a bit of a valley in the center and have the 2 hills on the left and right hand side, purely because I think that's going to look better with the wood coming up there and the rocks around it. This stuff is pretty much just old fish tank substrate. Basically, this is a mixture of sand, gravel, and a little bit of aqua soil. And it's recycling as well, because this used to be in an old fish tank that I tore down. But we're not finished there. We still need to add some aqua soil. We've got a dusting of aqua soil over the entire scape, so wherever I want to put the plants, they're going to have enough nutrients to thrive. So next up, we have to get our detail gravel. I'm very tempted to use this stuff here. I think it's going to be better with white sand, because the stand is black, and I'm going to get a matching black background to go on the back of here, so I think it'll be a nice contrast having all of the substrate be nice and white. I'll probably use this stuff here for some detail gravel, so it will actually get used, but I think the main color has to be light. Alright, I'm very glad I went with white sand because this is popping like crazy. There's a little bit of rocks in with the sand and I actually don't care. We're not in the industry of perfection in this household. I mean, I guess it just makes it look more natural, doesn't it? Alright, now it's time for hardscape. I'm going to start off with driftwood. I've got a lot of pieces to choose from, but I think one of these 2 would look really good. I think something needs to go up this hill. I think that would look really cool. I don't know, I've also got these pieces of wood as well, which are also pretty cool. I'm not going to lie, this piece is kind of calling me. Every time I do hardscape, it's just putting pieces in the tank and seeing what looks good. Alright, I think we found a winner for this side of the tank. I love how you've got wispy pieces like this just drawing your eye, and there's heaps of room in there for Java Fern. I can't seem to make this piece work, like that just doesn't flow together. I think it's just like an awkward size for this tank, so I think I'm gonna have to pick another one. Okay, I really can't tell if I like this or not, and I've just realized I haven't put on my black background yet. So let me do that right now. Okay, now I'm really sure I don't like it because this looks really weird. It's too dark. We gotta get rid of it. I might check back in once I found a piece I like. Okay, I finally have something that I'm somewhat happy with. It does look a bit odd at the moment, but when the plants come in there, it'll even out the gaps and it'll make it feel a lot more full. Now all I have to do is get the rocks and the detail gravel on, and then we should be good to fill her up. Okay, this is looking really nice. I wanted to make a really striking scape. I think a little bit of detail gravel is gonna make this pop even more, so I'm gonna add that now. I am super happy with how this detail gravel looks. Everyone should get detail gravel. A bag like this cost me like 20 bucks and I've used it for the last 6 months on every tank. You only need a handful every time, so it's super cost effective, especially when I'm getting the big bag. Like I probably used $2 worth of detail gravel in here. Now back to the tank. This detail gravel looks great, but I think I want something a little bit lighter. Sorry, not lighter, I mean finer. And this is exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, that stuff's quite a lot smaller. Okay, look at how much better the detail gravel makes this tank look. I like tanks that are like a slice out of nature. And to me, this is starting to look really natural. Guess what time it is? It's time for plants. Also, it's a completely different day if you couldn't tell by the... Okay, my plan with the plants is to go absolutely crazy with Amazon swords. I've got a lot of Amazon swords here, but I honestly don't think this is gonna be enough. First off, I'm gonna go for this massive sword. This is the biggest one I have. This was actually in my 6-foot tank until about 30 seconds ago. Okay, beautiful. It's a good start. Oh wow, already I can see what's gonna happen. Okay, now it's time to throw in the big Java fern. I pretty much knew this spot needed Java fern as soon as I saw this piece of wood. And even when I had this piece of wood in another tank, I had Java fern in it just like this. So I know that it's gonna look good. Okay, just like that. A really good beginner plant Java fern because you pretty much don't have to do anything to it. You don't even have to plant the roots in the substrate. Actually, if you do that, it's most likely gonna die. This is what you call an epiphyte plant. That means that the roots take nutrients from the water column. Okay, this tank is already looking amazing and we've only just started the planting. And if you wanted to, you could leave it like this and add fish and obviously water and it would look fine. But I really like the lush looking tank, so I'm gonna make sure to fill every gap I see. Oh, wait. What? Oh. What the fuck? What the fuck happened here? Okay, what the hell happened here? Somehow, I've gone to turn the hose off and it's ended up in here. Firstly, incredibly lucky that it didn't go on the fucking carpet. Oh, it did go on it. Barely. We're actually good. I can't believe that. I'm gonna have to see the replay on that. Also, the reason that I put this here is so when I'm filling up the tank, the sand doesn't get blown everywhere and it makes it super cloudy. If you know, you know, white sand and a new tank without like properly letting it settle doesn't mix. What the hell? What? As if my timers go off now. Oh yeah, they do go off at midnight. Wait, is it midnight? Surely not. Ugh. Oh well, guess it's time to keep going. Oh, I forgot I had to clean this up. Oh, how did that even happen, bro? Like... Okay, we're nearly finished with this tank, but there's only one step left before we add fish. So I bought these plant boxes for aquariums. They were literally like $3, but it's going to allow me to plant, if this lets me, I should be able to throw a peace lily in here. And I've actually already got one on the other side, so it's time to add those now. By the way, sneak peek at Harold's new tank. That's all you're getting. So as you can see, I have a lot to choose from. This is actually a peace lily, believe it or not. Here, there's the proof. I love a good peace lily. I don't get a lot of light in this house, so peace lilies are perfect. Anyway, we're actually not going to get a planted one because at the top of my 6x2 foot tank, there is this that's been growing. Don't know how much of the roots have attached. Damn, okay. Alright, so now all I have to do is take off these dead pieces, just like that, and now it's ready to be planted. Oh, hang on. Now it's ready to be planted. I don't know which side the big, like this is obviously the biggest one that I've got. I think it might look better on this side. Yes, how good does that look? Actually, I think that would be better on the other side now that I think about it. I'll leave a link to these boxes down below because these things are so easy to use. Look at that, bang. And now we have, oh, that side's quite a lot smaller. Hang on, let me. Okay, that is a little bit better. Because this is such a shallow tank, it's actually good that we're utilizing this top space. But yeah, it just adds like another element to the tank. I actually love the peace lilies. So it actually has been about 2 months since I started doing this tank. And in the time that I've had this break, I've added in a few more of the swords when I've broken down other tanks. So now it's a little bit more lush as well. But I am super happy with how it looks at the moment. It is pretty much ready for fish. Okay, so the last plants that I'm gonna be adding to this tank is a little bit more salvinia. There's a little bit already in there, but it's a great floating plant. And secondly, I'm gonna be stealing some small pieces of Java fern off some of my nano tanks. Okay, I have just grabbed my camera. What the hell? Wait a minute, tell me I wasn't seeing things. Oh my God, what is that? What is it? It's babies of something. Where the hell did you come from? There's more than that too. I've literally just put like a couple of tiny pieces in. I'm so confused. So let me just run you through what happened real quick. A couple of clips ago, you saw me add Java fern and salvinia to this tank. And clearly the nano tank that I took that from was my sparkling gourami tank. And evidently they were breeding in there. I am still to this day yet to see a baby in that tank. So when I collected them all into this jug and put them into the 5 foot, that must have been all that was there. So you can imagine my shock when I have 0 fish in this tank and yet somehow have babies. Took me a while to put the pieces together, but at least now you're caught up. Oh my God, they're right there. What the hell are they? Okay, it's been a couple of days and I think what I'm gonna do with these fry is throw them in with my mollies. I think they're at a big enough stage where they're not gonna get eaten by the mollies. And this tank is actually doing incredibly well, so it's probably the healthiest tank you can go in. All right, we are finally done with this fish tank, and you know what that means. It's time for fish. Hooray! This tank has taken absolutely ages to finally finish, and now it's time to add the neon blue acaras. All right, and here we have the 6x2 foot tank, and these right here are my beautiful neon blue acaras. Alright, we have the fish in the bucket. Alright, so the acaras have been acclimating in this bucket for about 30 minutes, and now it's time to get them into the tank. Alright, the fish are in, and obviously they are stressed out. They've just moved tanks, so they're discolored and they're going to be hiding for a while. So I think we'll check back in soon. Okay, this tank is looking absolutely amazing. I didn't realize how big my biggest one was until I threw him in this tank. Like, holy crap. But in saying that, it is time to add the second lot of fish. We've got our feature fish, which is the neon blue acaras, and now it's time for everything else. And we are back here at my 6x2 foot tank. And the reason I'm going to be pinching more fish from this tank is because I'm about to redo it. Please let me know what you want to see me do in this tank. I want to do something a little bit different that I'm not usually doing. I don't really know what that means, but give me suggestions in the comments. But from this tank, I will be taking the Congo Tetras, or at least some of them. I haven't decided whether I'm going to take all of them yet. Now, in the past, getting fish out of this tank has been a giant pain in the ass. But look, there's absolutely nothing in the tank, so touch wood, this shouldn't take too long. Alright, so that was actually pretty easy. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the easiest 20 fish I've ever had to catch in my life. Alright, here we go. These fish look absolutely amazing in this tank. The Congo Tetras were definitely a really good addition, and once they're fully grown, they're gonna be completely different. I've got one fully grown Congo Tetra and it looks absolutely amazing, and a little bit more food and these ones are gonna look just as good. When I put the acaras in here, I was feeding them sinking pellets, which was a big mistake because, as you can see, they absolutely destroyed the nice detail gravel that I put down. That's an easy fix, but there are still 3 fish waiting to go into this tank. And these fish are in my 6x2 foot tank, or or whatever's left of it. This is a Bichir that I've had for at least 3 years now. I actually made a YouTube video when I bought this guy, but also we have my Archerfish, which I've actually had for about a year. I bought him at about half the size of he is now, and he pretty much smashes anything smaller than him, so that is pretty much the only tank I can put him in. And last but not least, of course, the ghost knife is hiding as usual. Wait, hang on a minute. If I can feed him, he usually comes out. Let me do my tap. He hears the glass opening. Come on, mate. Here he comes. Now you can see the real size of him. He is massive. He, again, would smash anything smaller than probably this. All right, after a very long time, I've managed to catch these 3 fish. So now all that's left is to acclimate these guys and throw them in the tank. Okay, we're finally finished with this tank and I am super happy with how this has turned out. This is easily my favorite tank that I've got, and the plants have grown in so much more since I've planted them. This is definitely a crowd favorite tank at the moment. Everyone loves these Acaras. I mean, especially this guy, like look at him. Oh, and I completely forgot to record it, but as you can see, there are angelfish in this tank. Now, of course, this is probably a few too many fish for this tank, but unfortunately, these fish had to be moved here. The tank that they were in ended up crashing, so they're in here for now, but it is temporary. A lot of these fish will be moved. I'll probably halve the number of Congo Tetras in here, and I have some other plans for the angelfish and the archerfish as well. But for now, all of these fish look absolutely amazing. And for now, this tank is done. I hope you like this build video. I had a really good time making it, and I'm aiming to be a little bit more consistent now, so already got a couple videos in the works. So stay tuned, I guess. Later.